tonight's workshop, writing, the business of being a writer with our facilitator, Bernice. And we would like to thank New York Public Library for partnering up with Workshp Literary Arts Society for tonight's workshop. And if you would like to know any events, you can go to the U.S. Public Library website or on our website, RCLAS.com. And a little bit about Bernice. Bernice is a prize-winning poet and an English teacher dedicated to improving the writing skills of teenagers and adults. Now she's a freelance editor for poetry and prose manuscripts. She has given numerous successful readings, talks, and creative workshops. Born in Smithers, BC, Canada, Bernice now resides on Bowen Island. She has a BA and an MA in English from New York University, Ontario, as well as teaching certificates and experience in British Columbia and Ontario. Her travels led to poetry readings on 5 continents and especially for 3 years in England, have given her Bernice opportunities to discuss language education with other English teachers, and in 1989 to 1990, she developed her text, The Power of Words. It has 15 chapters and 240 pages with exercises and examples. Her dozen poetry books are listed on the ABC Book Forum. And we would like to present Bernice.
I've been doing my best to cut out all the bits about education, because although I have created a textbook that has been used in other countries as well as Canada, I no longer sell it as a textbook because we had it in a big binder, 240 pages, and we sold them at $10 at the college and at cost. And so my colleagues used it, and we were just happy with the results. But now I sell it as a CD. The math can make one in a minute, and they're easy to post. I don't know what you think of parcel this wide is going to cost at the post office. Anyways, they told me books are history, and I don't believe it. But the funny thing is, what I should have said about correct grammar or English. Most of my poetry, and I now have book 13 out, I've got a copy back there, just this last month, they're mainly all colloquial English. Slang, just how people talk to each other. I'm not an academic when I write poetry. It's all very easy to understand, but anyways, people are impressed with initials after your name. And I was very, what's the old word, canny, when I went to university. I studied with poets and writers when I could. Whatever they were teaching, that was what I went to teach. And I was very lucky to study with people like Irving Layton and Miriam Waddington and any number of people that you've read over the decades. So we won't worry about that. I have a number of these, and I mean, now that we've got dozens of people around the table, I'll just send them around. I don't know how many of you can read. Professional writers have a business plan. And at many, many levels, it's networking. So often on the back, there's nothing but advertising, like, well, that's a good idea, isn't it? Always let people know the name of your latest book. So I've worked on some of this to sort of be an example, and I think you'll be amazed at some of the funny ways that I do my work. Anybody want to hand out? So I've given you these 3 pages. I don't know how many of you at least got started. start any business, maybe you're going to sell the latest board game that's just come up. There's a lot of money in board games. I've met the people who, they live 30 minutes away from where I was in Toronto, that made trivia some decades ago. And I went to some of the game shows in Toronto and got fascinated with that and made a board game, but I was too busy with the teaching to develop it. But you know, maybe some of you just found a better ballpoint pen that doesn't run out. Whatever product you've got to sell, we're going to have a game plan. Maybe just a show of hands, how many of you actually have thought about your writing as a business?